All right, cool. All right. Okay, Jordan, how are we doing, bro?
Very good, very good.
Amazing. So we're here at the near the Opera House, the Harbour Bridge. Got some questions just regarding your DJ career, your producing career, and some advice you'd think would be good for the younger generation or people to become get into their first gigs. How's it going? Oh, it's just our own little
It's doing like an interview.
Yeah, so unfortunately, guys, those kind of things not allowed to do on site.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can just do it. You can do it there.
Circle Key or the park.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
That dude follows us. That's gonna be fucking crazy, eh?
Yeah. Yo.
Okay. So we got kicked out.
Yeah, so we got kicked out of the Opera House area and the Harbour Bridge area, which was fun. Didn't know you needed a permission to do it, but
permit.
yeah. Now next to the pond in the Botanical Gardens, beautiful spot. So not at all. When did you start producing? What was the reason in the beginning?
So I started producing in 2020 in the lockdowns. Actually, it was like day 2 of the lockdowns. I was just doing it as like a hobby for school, my music class. And I wasn't thinking of it as like a career, but I just fell in love with it immediately. I was like, oh my God, I should have been doing this the whole time. I've just been doing all these remixes, originals, albums and stuff like that. But it really just started as like a hobby in my spare time. Before that, I was doing filmmaking, the bushfires and the lockdowns, put it on hold. And then that gave me time to start producing.
The lockdowns really made people do things differently, creatively in their house. That's also how I got into DJing. But with your producing, remixes or originals?
Well, I like them in 2 different ways. In remixes, I can just sort of like showcase my creative side. Here's a song, but here's my version. That's the fun of it. With originals, it's more about connecting with people, telling a story and putting yourself out there than it is about, showing the creative side. You can still do that, but I think it's really about telling a story and being like putting yourself out there. That's the kind of thing that I prefer to do with originals.
Obviously, on a few of your tracks, you've collaborated with a couple of singers and stuff. How do you go about finding these people?
Discord and Fiverr. With the ones on Discord, they were just at my level, just starting out. They hadn't really put out much music. Sometimes it was their first track ever. I met them through like singing servers on Discord, word of mouth sometimes. My friend sings or whatever, and I met them through that. With Fiverr, those were songs that there was a bit of a deadline or I needed a very specific kind of vocalist, and Fiverr allowed me to sort of pick and choose all the people that were on there. I had too many producers afterwards asking me like, where do you find the vocals? They thought I'd bought the vocals from some random person on some random website. I said, no, these are songs that I wrote, that I got the singers for. We did it all together. I mixed it all. Like I started from scratch. And when you've worked with people like that, it's really cool that you can do stuff like that.
What do you reckon separates a good remix from a forgettable one?
I think there's like 2 aspects to that. Whether the song itself is actually one that people want to hear a remix of. If it's like completely irrelevant and no one's interested in it, then no matter how good the remix is, people won't really care, I don't think. Then there's also the other side of it is how different is the remix from the original and like what have you brought to it that people didn't think that they needed? It needs to be a song that people know, people wanted to hear a remix of.
When you go to do a remix, do you find something that's come out recently or back on an old song that you want to remix?
So a lot of them are from like the 2000s to 2010s, like select the songs that I think would be good as remixes. At the moment, I'm choosing between old songs, like what songs I've grown up with. I still think I need to pick some new songs that have just come out and I need to do some fresher remixes at some point.
A lot of remixes fail when people bring them out on Soundcloud and don't get many views. What would be one reason why they would fail?
How you promote a remix is everything. If you're just putting it out in the void, like no one's going to listen to it. You need to like get it onto playlists, DJ sets. It's so much that you have to do to get this song past all the other people that are starting to produce. It's a really cutthroat industry now that you have to do all these things.
So if your remix doesn't upload to SoundCloud due to copyright issues, what is another alternative?
I would say either Hypedit or YouTube. Don't do the spinning vinyl thing. No one likes that. Don't do that ever. But you can do audio visualizers. There's a few websites that do those for free. I know one friend, Hypester, he did one remix and he did the audio visualizer thing. And that remix is like 1 million views now on YouTube. That is just amazing. And it's like things like that, how you package it. There's multiple different ways you can do it on YouTube. The standalone picture sometimes, that's sort of how a lot of early DJs started out before all these new trendy things happened. They were just doing still images on the video and they worked.
So regarding a little bit more on stuff on producing, being creative, coming up with ideas for songs and remixes, what do you do on a day-to-day basis with your creativity stuff?
Well, In terms of like creative workflow, I stick to a template that I've built over years and years since the beginning. And that's helped shave off so many hours of work that I've not needed to do every time I start a new project. I've got everything there for me. It's ready to go. But in terms of like creative decisions, I'm more of a patient person. I don't force anything. When the opportunity strikes for creativity, that's when I'll get into it and that's when I'll start making something. I don't sit there and force myself to make a song because it doesn't seem to come out very well and it's not that organic or fresh in my mind. So I'd rather just work on other things behind the scenes and then get straight into it.
Producers and DJs are talking about this at the moment. What do you think of the AI generated music at the moment?
Geez.
Do you think it's killing the industry, helping the industry, or like both? Like,
Well, I think that the people using AI who never would have made music, they're just using it like they're just making a prompt like, hey, make this song. And then they've got the song. Like those people aren't musicians. I'm just going to say it now. Those people aren't musicians. They're using a prompt, they're doing that, and it's doing it for them. But I think with people that use AI and they integrate it into what they already know, like a friend of mine, J-Dubs, who does this mix mentoring AI, which is helping producers and teaching them how to mix them, that's a good use of AI, I think. I've thought about it myself. What could I do with AI in my music? Because you got to adapt. You got to use the tools of your time. And AI is just one of them. And I thought about it and I was thinking like, maybe if I used it to make reference vocals for the vocalists that I'm working with, that way it doesn't replace them, but at the same time, it helps us both like get to the right idea and the right vision. And so I thought of that. And I've not done it yet. I've not convinced myself just yet to do it, but that is on my mind as something I could do with AI in my music.
for someone starting out as like a bedroom DJ or getting into producing for the first time, what actual costs are there in music production?
You should definitely wait till around like Christmas time, Boxing Day sales, Black Friday sales. Those are the good times to get some like combos, packages of different things. I started DJing with a DDJ FLX6 and that came with 2 studio monitors and headphones. And together that only costs like just over $1,000.
Someone who's just getting into DJing and producing for the first time, it's a broke college student, just has a laptop. What's the starting point for them?
A lot of people start at GarageBand, which is like this free DAW. It's basically like Logic Pro, but a light version. But there's also things like free trials that you can have for all these professional DAWs that you can use. Those are the best options to get started because you get a little taste of what's going on and you can do a lot of stuff with those free trials.
Then taking the first steps to learn something, someone also who doesn't have much music theory, is there good tutorials out there you reckon on YouTube?
Right now, there's a lot of good tutorials for Ableton.
Yeah, because Ableton's the better.
Back in 2020 when I started, all the tutorials were on FL Studio. So that was the only one that I could learn really. And that's what I did. And now all of them have moved over to Ableton. And so that's pretty much what I would recommend people start on is using Ableton. And that one's very compatible with all the other ones. It's very similar. I hear FL Studio is very unique. So there's still a lot of old tutorials from that time. A lot of them these days are now on Ableton.
Nice. Someone who's just bought their first $500 decks and they just got into their bedroom and they've just downloaded a few songs and whatnot. What is their next step to try and get a gig? What's the best plan of action that worked for you would recommend to someone else?
I would say definitely make a mix and start sending out some emails to some venues. Look on social media, like what places are promoting DJs, things like that. Even just Google like what nightclubs are out there. And once you've done that, you can then have a long list of places to reach out to if your town has that sort of scene. And go from there, send out some emails, even meeting in person on like a Friday night or Saturday night, whatever. Even during the day, sometimes I've reached out to a lot of venues during the day and be like, hey, who's your manager? Who's your booking agent? That sort of thing. And I've got so many emails that I wouldn't have got otherwise. So definitely do that. Go do some job hunting like you would any other job. Just go in person, do that sort of thing, have a chat and make sure you have the mix ready for them to listen to. Make sure you've got enough music for them to actually play in your set that night.
What do you reckon these clubs and promoters are looking for? Like, especially with social media, like what do they look for on Instagram or TikTok that would be a bit more specific?
I think they need to see a good reflection of you as a person because anyone can make I think that they need to see a good reflection of you as a person because anyone can make a really good mix. Anyone can make the best songs ever and put them in, a really cool set, but not everyone is a cool person. And you need to really show that. That is a good advantage that you have as a DJ if you do have it. And that's what you need to reflect in your videos, in your reels. That's what it needs to be. You need to show the human side of you, not just the brand. Everyone focuses on the brand, but no one focuses on being a good person and being an honest person, being a relatable person. All of that needs to happen as well for for people to be like, yes, I want to book this person. And that's pretty much the most underrated thing I think that people overlook when it comes to booking and looking for bookings.
How would you show a bit more of your personality and authentic side of you?
A lot of people like are afraid to like put themselves out there, which is totally understandable because you're putting yourself out there for so many people to see. There's all sorts of different ways you can do it. And it really depends on the person. It depends on your personality. It depends on what kind of videos you make, what kind of music you do. But I would say in your stories, like a lot of people don't utilize stories that much. That's a really good way to connect with the followers you have. That's when you want to connect with the ones who are following you. You want to reward them for following you. You want to give them something that most people wouldn't see. That's the kind of thing you want to do.
Because I guess there's one way of getting people to follow you or like your stuff, but then it's actually bringing out stuff, consistency, and nurturing them.
Yeah, and stories are like low effort, nurturing sort of ways that you can do, like nurturing that audience you have that people don't think about. And that's something venue managers and booking agents can look at that and say like, oh, this is the kind of person he is. He's talking about his life. He's talking about all these things. And those are the kind of things that people really look at when they want to book you as a DJ. They want to see the human side of you.
100%. You've done around 200 gigs, which is amazing. That's like awesome.
Thank you.
What's the future looking like, you reckon, where you're going, and where do you want to be like this time next year going into 2027?
I definitely want to DJ outside of my hometown. I've done that a little bit, but I really want to cement myself outside of my hometown as a DJ. And that's what I'm mainly focusing on this year. I've already played at like virtually all the venues that I know in my town, and I just need to sort of get out of that. I need to start branching out to other places up in Sydney and places maybe like Bali and Fiji. So those are where I'm looking to go this year, and fingers crossed it all works, but who knows? I don't know. I didn't know what would come in 2025, and I don't know what will come this year. We'll see.
Yeah, one bit of advice, I saw someone else on Instagram saying that they actually don't have many goals as such, just to enjoy the process and what they're liking next.
Yeah, go with the flow. Yeah, that's a very good idea, because you have more freedom if you accept things and you go with the flow rather than looking at things through the lens of what you expect it to be, what you expect things to be. That's quite an interesting thing.
Because some things in this industry can be quite spontaneous. You could meet someone even in like a smoking area or something and be like, oh, I liked your set. I know this guy who wants to be collaborating with you on a song, or can get you a gig somewhere else, and that one door could be opening up another avenue.
Yeah, definitely. Like the amount of people you can meet just randomly is very unexpected. And you got to account for that. Like there's a lot of things people don't account for, and that's one of them, which is just you might meet someone completely random at some random place. You might meet them through a mutual friend, and you can't really plan for that. You can't calculate for that. You can't work for that. You just have to let that happen. And that happens a lot more than you think it would in a DJ career or any sort of creative career. People don't think about that.
Awesome advice. Yeah, nice.
Awesome.
Okay, so now we're going to do some quick fire would you rather questions. So it's going to be a quick fire round of questions for Jordan to answer. Okay, Jordan, would you rather never DJ or never produce?
Never DJ.
Would you rather an empty nightclub or a packed club but no one will dance?
Packed club, but no one will dance.
God, that's depressing, man. Would you rather play at Miami Ultra or Ibiza?
Miami Ultra, all the way.
Miami Ultra. Oh, yeah, that would be mine. Would you rather DJ without headphones or without beat sync?
Without beat sync. Who uses beat sync? Who the hell uses beat sync?
Who uses beat sync?
Oh my God. You don't use beat sync, do you?
Never. The crowd booing you non-stop, or you can only play Taylor Swift music the whole night?
If you play Taylor Swift music the whole night, you're still going to get booed anyway, so...
DJ did, in fact, assault Swift.
Would you rather go viral with a bad song or stay undiscovered with great music?
Stay undiscovered with great music. It's all about the music. Always.
Yeah, that's your painting in your room, right? Would you rather have your song played by Martin Garrix or David Guetta?
Martin Garrix, obviously. The obvious choice.